Which individual would have the lowest basal metabolic rate? A lot of questions always come in about boosting metabolism and how to increase your metabolism, and is metabolism important? And I have a lot of answers on Quora that have dealt with this question before, but I think this is more important because it really brings in science-based evidence, and I'll make sure and link the research papers also. So I think that overall the individual with a decreased metabolism, they will have the lowest metabolic rate, which in my experience and research really stems from poor liver function. It would mainly be a sluggish liver. When we do have issues with liver function, the bile production, storage, absorption and reabsorption become insufficient. This can result in biliary, intrahepatic and gallstones. Basically gallstones, but then the intrahepatic stones would be within the liver canals. It is extremely dangerous whenever a stone may become trapped within the papilla of Vater, which is in between the gallbladder and the pancreas. And whenever this becomes blocked, it would really disrupt pancreas function as well. And we all know how important the pancreas is for, maintaining blood glucose levels. I've linked a paper here, which is on the underlying mechanisms of hypothyroidism, which then does affect the formation of common bile duct stones, and I'll make sure and link that in the show notes. But looking into physical, mental and emotional stressors which may affect liver function, I think this was really the key. This is where science is going to be going to in the future. I have answered questions on that topic before, but I do like some of the research on the diet, like how diet maybe influences liver function. However, I think this has to be taken as a guideline and not overall dietary advice, because as we know, there's too many different factors that sort of a person requires, amount of calories, the correct balance of macro and micronutrients for the overall health of the individual. And it's really dependent on, genetics, epigenetics, biochemical individuality. The size of our organs are so different, and the shape, and how much macro and micronutrients we need on a daily basis really differs from person to person. We look on the outside as different as we are. What is it? We're as different on the inside as we are on the outside. And you look around, how different people look. So if the liver is dumping excess glycogen into the bloodstream, and the thyroid and the pancreas function have been diminished, it's not hard to see why someone would begin to store fat. And also in the stress state, we have increased levels of lipogenic hormones, which are fat storing hormones, and less lipolytic hormones, which are basically enzymes that break down fat. And these circulate in the blood, but during times of stress, they're upset. Normally they're more of a balance. And this means that we store fat more readily, obviously. And we also see that women and men who have cholecystectomies, which is the removal of the gallbladder, they seem to be big sufferers of hypothyroidism and the metabolic syndrome, which is mainly caused by sluggish bile, which is going to cause overweight and obesity in a lot of individuals. And I've linked the paper here again, the association of cholecystectomy with metabolic syndrome in the Chinese population. The liver is the master of the show. It is your system manager. It is the main metabolic organ within the body, and that includes metabolizing the thyroid hormones, which is why we're going to have problems perhaps with hyper and hypothyroidism. Hope you guys enjoyed this little answer. I'll make sure and link the research papers within the show notes, and I will speak to you all soon again.